On a typical flight, a very special passenger appeared, capturing the attention of both the crew and fellow travelers, not just because of her naturally elegant and captivating appearance, but also due to her gentle and respectful manner. The presence of the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, brought a warm and friendly atmosphere throughout the entire journey. What made it even more special was that after the flight she left a small but meaningful gift, a handwritten thank you letter addressed to the entire flight crew. This simple yet sincere gesture made everyone feel deeply appreciated and grateful, sparking a viral story on social media that left many admiring and curious about the real person behind the spotlight. If you're curious to learn more about this story, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, just type 0. Don't forget to like, share the video, and leave your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Now let's get started with the story. The heartfelt praise for Meghan deeply moved the public. She was portrayed as the perfect woman, beautiful, kind, approachable, and someone who truly knows how to appreciate those around her. Many viewers left admiring comments calling Meghan an ideal role model, a modern duchess who is both warm and thoughtful. The video seemed to further reinforce the image she wants the public to believe in. However, what truly surprised the public wasn't the admiration, but the contrasting reactions from those who had actually worked with Meghan. Shortly after the video went viral, several members of film crews and behind-the-scenes staff who had previously served Meghan spoke out, sharing experiences that painted a very different picture. They described a Meghan who was demanding, impatient, and often made requests that went far beyond reasonable expectations. These accounts quickly drew attention, causing people to question the widely circulated image of the friendly Duchess. This has led the public to ask a pressing question. Is the Meghan seen in that TikTok video truly who she is, or merely a carefully crafted image built for PR strategy? The stark contrast between the praise and the accusations has sparked intense debate. Is everything the public sees just the surface of a meticulously constructed personal brand, or is Meghan genuinely kind-hearted, simply misunderstood due to media pressure and long-standing bias? Either way, this story continues to capture global attention. However, what seemed like a harmless TikTok video unexpectedly ignited a wave of heated controversy, especially among those in the aviation industry who had previously served Meghan Markle on past flights. Not long after the video went viral, numerous flight attendants and service staff from major airlines such as British Airways, American Airlines, and several international carriers began sharing experiences that starkly contrasted with the gentle image portrayed in the clip. According to them, the video painted an overly idealized, almost flawless portrait of Meghan, something they believe is a misrepresentation of reality. These responses didn't come from just one or two individuals, but from numerous professionals across different roles in the industry, with surprisingly consistent descriptions that Meghan is cold, unapproachable, and arrogant. The comments didn't stop at her being unfriendly. They also mentioned a lack of respect toward the crew. Some flight attendants shared that Meghan displayed a noticeably two-faced attitude. When Prince Harry was present, she behaved gently, politely, and appeared friendly. But as soon as he wasn't around, Meghan seemed to become an entirely different person. Cold, quiet, and completely disengaged from the flight crew. Some crew members even said she rarely expressed gratitude and sometimes acted as if the staff were merely invisible servants on her flight. Many people recalled feeling disregarded, even outright ignored when trying to engage with her. One flight attendant shared that Meghan wouldn't even look at them when receiving food or drinks, and her demeanor made others feel as though they were being a bother. Another recounted a moment when Meghan spoke to a staff member in a harsh tone for no apparent reason, as if she was more accustomed to giving orders than communicating with mutual respect. So what is the truth? Does the image of Meghan in the TikTok video, beautiful, polite, and kind, truly reflect who she really is? Or is it just a carefully selected moment crafted to serve a more polished media strategy? This question has led many to start doubting the authenticity of what they see on social media, where everything can be edited, staged, and polished to create the most ideal version possible. Some opinions suggest that this TikTok video might be part of a PR strategy to refresh Meghan's image after a series of past media scandals. By spreading friendly moments and touching stories, she could be trying to rebuild the image of a relatable, likable duchess, an exemplary mother, and an inspiring figure. But if behind the spotlight there is a completely different person, can the public continue to believe what they are seeing? The stark contrast between the real experiences of many industry insiders and the perfect image presented online has sparked a deeper debate about the authenticity of celebrities. Where is the line between image and reality? Do public figures have a responsibility to live up to the persona they show to the public? And as media strategies become increasingly sophisticated, can audiences still stay discerning enough to tell what's real and what's staged? Whether you admire Meghan Markle or disagree with her, this story raises a thought-provoking reality. In an era where images can be manufactured in just seconds, it is personal experiences, first-hand accounts, and diverse perspectives that help us gain a more accurate understanding of a person, especially those living at the center of fame's storm. The reaction from the flight crew went beyond simple criticism. For them, that TikTok video wasn't just a viral clip, but a warning about the dangers of using fabricated images in the entertainment and media industries. Many aviation staff, especially those who have personally served Meghan on long international flights, spoke out. They expressed feelings of being deceived upon seeing the video portray Meghan as a perfect, gentle, and warm person. The accusations from the flight crew are not baseless fabrications. They stem from real experiences repeated over numerous flights at different times and across various airlines. Some crew members said they could hardly believe what they saw in the TikTok video because it was so different from the Meghan they had encountered. They insisted that wasn't the Meghan they knew, at least not when the cameras weren't rolling. These are not isolated personal complaints, but an organized response expressing clear dissatisfaction with the use of public image to create a fake persona. The witnesses unanimously shared that Meghan often appeared cold and distant, and in many cases hardly interacted with anyone in the flight crew. The stark contrast between Meghan's public image and her behind-the-scenes behavior has become a controversial topic across social media. One of the most frequently repeated details in these accounts is Meghan's change in attitude depending on whether Prince Harry was present or not. When Harry was with her, she appeared pleasant, polite, and open. But when alone, Meghan seemed distant, reserved, and showed no signs of friendliness. Many flight attendants reported that she didn't say thank you, avoided eye contact, and behaved as if maintaining a clear distance from everyone. A flight attendant from British Airways said that Meghan not only kept her distance, but also showed arrogance, making them feel like invisible people on the flight. No small talk, no smiles. She was almost silent throughout the entire journey. Another flight attendant from American Airlines shared that the atmosphere when serving Meghan was always tense. The staff had to be careful with every little gesture, as even a minor slip-up could lead to criticism from her. One person likened the experience of serving Meghan to walking on eggshells. Every word and action had to be carefully calculated to avoid unintentionally upsetting her. The invisible wall between Meghan and the flight crew made many feel distant and so tense that they couldn't work as comfortably as they would with other passengers. Some said that instead of a regular flight, it felt like a high-pressure test. The question raised is, does the viral TikTok video truly reflect the real Meghan Markle, or is it just part of a carefully orchestrated public relations strategy? The stark contrast between the two images, a kind, approachable woman on social media and a distant, hard-to-reach passenger in real life, has sparked public doubt. Many have begun to question whether Meghan is maintaining a public persona designed to regain favor with the media. If that's the case, then this isn't just Meghan's story. It's also a powerful reminder of the power and risks of building a personal brand through the media. In an era where images can be easily edited and spread, authenticity becomes rare and precious. When so many versions of a person exist simultaneously, one can't help but wonder which one is the real. That TikTok video, after all, may only be the tip of a massive iceberg. Behind the glamorous image on screen lie countless stories, experiences, and opposing perspectives that the public rarely hears. And that's precisely why the debate surrounding Meghan Markle, even after all these years, shows no sign of coming to an end. What caught the attention of many in the aviation industry was Meghan's frequent requests for special services whenever she boarded a plane. However, the contradiction lay in how she treated those serving her. According to several flight crew members, Meghan's attitude did not show the basic respect one would expect from a duchess or even an ordinary passenger. She didn't interact with them as real people, but rather as if they were anonymous servants. Some flight attendants even said that Meghan completely refused direct communication. When Prince Harry was present, she would only speak through him, creating a cold barrier between Meghan and the staff serving her. And when Harry wasn't around, Meghan practically disappeared, offering no greetings or interaction, leaving behind an impression of discomfort and distance. They didn't see the warmth or friendliness one would typically expect from a mother or a member of the royal family. What puzzled the flight crew the most was the stark change in Meghan's behavior depending on whether her husband was present. When Harry was nearby, Meghan immediately became open and gentle, often smiling and engaging proactively with everyone. The staff said they barely recognized this was the same person they had served before. At those times, Meghan appeared to be a caring wife and an exemplary mother, completely opposite to the silence and coldness they had witnessed otherwise. The stark contrast in her behavior has led many to question whether Meghan is deliberately crafting a friendly image when she's being watched. Her changing attitude depending on the situation seems more than just personal emotions. It appears to be a calculated strategy. When Harry is around, Meghan knows how to showcase her best qualities. But when unobserved staff describe her as indifferent and even dismissive toward others. Most importantly, the criticisms from the flight crew are neither isolated incidents nor spontaneous emotional reactions. They are repeated accounts over time from different flights and various teams. This raises suspicion that this is not a temporary behavior, but rather a consistent pattern, organized and strategic, that Meghan has maintained to protect her public image. Clearly, Harry's presence plays an indispensable role in this process. Meghan's complete transformation from being described as cold and distant when alone to a lively and amiable woman when accompanied by her husband has become the focal point of the debate. Many believe this isn't just the two sides of a complex person, but also a sign that Meghan's public image has been carefully designed. When the cameras are on, she knows exactly what to portray. But when no one is watching, that image seems to disappear. Notably, quite a few service staff and even members of film crews have spoken out about the contradictions between Meghan on camera and Meghan behind the scenes. This suggests that Meghan may have mastered the art of presenting herself to fit each situation, but lacks consistency and sincerity in how she treats those who don't directly benefit her. And this raises the question, how much longer can the public image she's built be sustained? The flawless image Meghan Markle has built in the public eye, and the accusations from those who have worked with her, are gradually revealing the darker sides behind the curtain of this woman. One of the most controversial stories comes from a flight Meghan took to South Africa with her son Archie. Allegations about how she treated her child in a sensitive situation have raised serious questions among many. A senior flight attendant from British Airways, who served Meghan on this long-haul flight, candidly shared her observations of Meghan's behavior. According to the witness throughout the journey, Meghan did not touch Archie or show any signs of concern for her son. Even when the boy appeared uncomfortable and on the verge of tears, Meghan remained indifferent, taking no action to soothe or comfort him. Instead, the entire responsibility of caring for and comforting Archie was handed over to the flight crew and the accompanying nanny. This surprised many, as the public image of Meghan is usually that of a devoted and attentive mother, especially during long and stressful flights. The reality contradicting this image raises many questions about her true nature. According to the witness, Meghan displayed a completely indifferent attitude toward the child she carried and gave birth to. This is even more striking considering she frequently appears in the media as the perfect mother, always loving and caring for her children. The huge gap between her public image and actual behavior has caused many to feel skeptical. One could argue that Meghan's indifference is not merely a sign of a tired or stressed mother. This is not the first time she has been accused of neglecting her son. Such actions raise suspicions of deliberate irresponsibility, especially given her ongoing efforts to cultivate a perfect image in the media. When there's no media scrutiny or Prince Harry present, Meghan's behavior reveals a much colder and more indifferent side. Compared to an average mother who would always care for and protect her child in any situation, Meghan shows a stark difference. She is willing to hand over her child to the staff without hesitation or any visible sense of responsibility. This not only demonstrates a lack of responsibility, but also reflects a calculated aspect of Meghan's personality. Her actions may indicate that she is not genuinely invested in caring for her child, but rather acts this way due to public pressure and a desire to maintain a flawless image. While the public often sees a devoted, attentive mother through the media, the reality is entirely different. An important point to emphasize is that this was not an isolated incident occurring on a single flight. According to multiple witnesses who have worked directly with Meghan, her lack of attention toward her child has happened repeatedly. This further highlights the unusual nature of her attitude toward her son Archie. The repetition of this behavior strengthens the hypothesis that Meghan's attitude is not due to random incidents or temporary stress. Instead, it may be the way she chooses to present herself in moments when there is no public or media scrutiny. Leaving Archie in the care of staff and the nanny without direct attention from his mother is a clear example of this. The most convincing explanation for this behavior is Meghan's deliberate indifference when the media or Prince Harry are not present. In those moments, she seems to disregard her responsibilities as a mother and chooses to step back from the caregiving role, leaving others to take over. This behavior exposes a darker side of Meghan's personality, one that the public rarely sees through carefully staged and orchestrated events. While the media portrays her as an exemplary, devoted mother, the reality reveals a completely different image, one that is somewhat cold and distant. The most important thing is to view this behavior objectively. Not touching her child or comforting Archie when he appeared upset and uncomfortable during a long flight is very difficult to accept both ethically and psychologically. A typical mother in such stressful situations would always strive to soothe and care for her child with utmost dedication. Meghan's choice to behave this way has sparked significant controversy and raised serious questions about her true character, as well as the sincerity of the image she has built in the public eye. It has also led many to doubt whether she can sustain the devoted mother persona she has long tried to portray. All of this is not merely a story about a single flight or a momentary lapse in behavior, but part of a larger picture revealing Meghan's true self. A woman with hidden darker sides concealed behind the glamorous facade, crafted by the media and herself. In Meghan's case, her indifference not only reflects a failure in maternal duties, but also suggests a deliberate avoidance of personal responsibility when no one is watching. Upon closer analysis, leaving Archie, her son, in the care of the flight staff, instead of attending to him directly, can be seen as a sign of emotional detachment, even a lack of respect toward one of the most important people in her life. This is not merely a passive act, but reveals a less than positive attitude from Meghan when the media and her husband, Prince Harry, are absent. Meghan's actual behavior becomes even more striking when contrasted with the loving, attentive mother image she carefully cultivates in the media. This stark contradiction between her public persona and the backstage reality has fueled widespread doubt among the public about the sincerity of her actions at official events. Many are beginning to question whether Meghan is truly the devoted mother she portrays, or if it's merely a carefully staged performance designed to protect her reputation. What's even more notable is that this is not an isolated incident or a one-time mistake. Those who have worked with Meghan reveal that her lack of attentiveness toward her child has occurred repeatedly in the past. This reinforces the hypothesis that Meghan's attitude is not accidental, but part of a deliberate way she chooses to present herself, especially in situations without media oversight or her husband's presence. Leaving Archie in the care of staff without regard for his feelings can be interpreted in many ways, but the clearest explanation points to Meghan's intentional indifference. Moments without media presence or Prince Harry have revealed a colder, more irresponsible side of Meghan's personality. She appears to neglect her maternal responsibilities, choosing instead to abandon the duty of caring for her child and leaving it to others to handle. This behavior exposes the darkest facet of her character, one that the public cannot see through carefully orchestrated events and widespread media coverage. However, it is important to take an objective view. No mother could easily accept not touching her child or failing to comfort them when the child is upset, especially on a long and stressful flight. This indifferent behavior is not only an ethical issue, but also deeply affects the child's psychological well-being. An ordinary mother in any circumstance would always try to soothe and care for her child as attentively as possible. But with Meghan, this difference in behavior highlights inconsistency and raises further doubts among the public. More importantly, Meghan's indifference is not simply a sign of neglect, but suggests a deliberate avoidance of personal responsibility when no one is watching. This points to a purposeful action, leading many to wonder whether Meghan is prioritizing maintaining her image over genuinely caring for her child. Leaving Archie in the care of the staff can be seen as cold-hearted or even disrespectful towards someone so close to her. This is not just an isolated incident, but part of a complex pattern of behavior confirmed by multiple witnesses. Whether or not the media is watching, Meghan clearly shows that motherhood is not her top priority. Instead, building and maintaining a perfect image takes precedence. These facts reveal a stark contrast between the Meghan portrayed in the media and the Meghan in real life. If you find this story interesting and want to learn more, don't forget to share the video and leave your comments below to let us know your thoughts. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more exciting videos. And now let's continue the story together. Looking more broadly at Meghan's past before joining the British royal family, it's impossible to overlook the signs of instability and disrespectful behavior she displayed in the entertainment industry. Before becoming a duchess and coming under intense media scrutiny, Meghan was repeatedly accused of arrogance, unreasonable demands, and a lack of respect toward colleagues and those working alongside her. Members of the production crew who worked with Meghan recalled that even though the shows she participated in had limited budgets and modest scales, she still made extravagant and inappropriate demands. Meghan often insisted on having a separate dressing room, demanded to travel in first class, and on multiple occasions requested the use of a private jet, while her colleagues and the production team had to rely on standard transportation methods. It didn't stop there. She also demanded personal service and special treatment when it came to meals, even though other crew members only received ordinary, sometimes quite meager food. These actions not only caused discomfort and resentment within the production team, but also served as clear evidence of the stark contrast between her public image and the actual attitude she displayed in the workplace. In summary, this information not only raises doubts about Meghan's true character, but also reveals a more complex picture of who she really is. She is described not just as a mother with a cold attitude, but also as someone who meticulously calculates her public image while lacking sincerity and respect toward those around her in everyday life. This only fuels public curiosity and raises many questions. Can Meghan maintain the flawless image she has crafted, or will the secrets and contradictions in her character soon be exposed? And is she truly the person the public once admired, or merely a carefully constructed symbol designed for media purposes and personal power? This personality trait not only makes Meghan appear unapproachable, but also creates noticeable tension in her relationships with colleagues and those around her. The demands she makes are not merely about ensuring personal comfort. At a deeper level, they reflect an attitude of "I'm special, and I deserve to be treated this way." It is this very attitude that has led many people to feel disrespected or looked down upon by her. Another story, revealed by someone who worked with Meghan before she joined the royal family, sheds further light on her true character. This person shared that Meghan not only appeared indifferent and uncaring toward those serving her, but also showed a lack of respect for individuals who did not hold prominent positions within the production crew. In one instance, a junior assistant was asked to work overtime without fair compensation, leaving that assistant feeling undervalued and disrespected to the point that they described it as the worst moment in their career. Similar stories are not just isolated personal incidents, but reveal a continuous and systematic pattern of behavior from Meghan. This became even more apparent when she officially joined the royal family, an environment well known for its strict protocols and codes of conduct. However, instead of adapting flexibly, Meghan quickly built for herself an independent and somewhat rebellious personal image. Many palace staff have revealed that her behavior did not align with the standards and style expected of a member of the royal family. On the contrary, they described Meghan as someone trying to leverage her newly acquired power and status to control everything around her, showing arrogance and demanding special privileges. In fact, when things didn't go her way, she often expressed dissatisfaction or pressured staff. Insider witnesses also reported that Meghan frequently worked in her own way, disregarding the traditional protocols and strict rules set by the royal family. For example, she made special requests regarding meals demanding privileges that other members were not entitled to, which caused widespread discontent within the palace. This dissatisfaction didn't remain just a personal feeling, but escalated into a serious internal issue. Many staff members expressed deep disappointment with how Meghan treated them, creating a tense and divided working atmosphere. While Meghan might receive plenty of praise from the public and media for her kindness, politeness, and polished image, the reality behind the scenes reveals a completely different and far less flattering picture. These reflections are not merely personal issues or isolated conflicts. Rather, they contribute to forming a larger picture of Meghan's true character, a woman who seems to have been very successful in crafting a perfect public image, but lacks sincerity in her relationships and real-life actions. Her meticulous, strategic approach to building a media persona is undeniable, but when it comes to everyday life, the praise for her kindness, politeness, and perfection appears to be in stark contrast with the actual behavior she displays. This contradiction between Meghan's public image and her private reality creates a significant gap, like a deep fracture in the way she shapes and maintains her persona in front of the public. The issue is not only about the specific actions she has taken, but also about the stark changes in her attitude and character when in front of the camera, compared to how she interacts directly with those who work closely alongside her. Her discomfort with flying, as well as the somewhat calculated nature of her behavior, are clear signs that Meghan is not entirely the person she portrays in the media. These factors cast serious doubt on the image that the public once admired, sparking endless debates about the truth behind the glamorous facade of this woman. This has led many to question the authenticity of Meghan's actions and words at official events. Additionally, another notable point is the simmering and long-standing resentment among those who have worked closely with her. When carefully examining the stories shared by film crews, flight attendants, and royal staff, it's clear that their criticisms of Meghan go beyond arrogance. They feel exploited, undervalued, and seriously disrespected. This is not merely a matter of minor disagreements or momentary clashes, but rather a deep-rooted, prolonged issue that has caused significant harm to the individuals subjected to such behavior over an extended period. While the public only knows Meghan through her polished image in the media, they are completely unaware of the true feelings and difficulties experienced by her associates and subordinates. These individuals have had to work in an uncomfortable environment where mutual respect seems like a luxury. Meghan's unfair and disrespectful behavior toward those without a voice or prominent position can clearly be seen as a way she exploits her fame and power to maintain her public image without genuinely caring about the feelings, rights, and fairness owed to the people around her. The accusations from witnesses do not merely reflect impatience or an unpleasant personality of an individual, but rather paint a broader picture of workplace culture, where sometimes celebrities exploit their position and fame to control and exert power over those working under them. This issue goes beyond Meghan's personal conduct. It serves as a profound lesson about respect and ethics in the workplace, fundamental values that any organization or community must uphold to build a healthy environment and ensure sustainable development. In summary, when looking back at Meghan's entire past, a consistent pattern of behavior becomes clear arrogance, excessive demands, and a lack of respect for those working around her. The image Meghan builds and promotes to the public is polished and captivating, but behind-the-scenes stories reveal a completely different reality, a picture full of contradictions and instability, creating a deep crack in the way the public perceives and judges her true character. The stories shared by the flight crew and staff who worked closely with Meghan Markle not only shed light on her true behavior and personality, but also highlight an important fact: the image the public sees of Meghan is essentially a carefully orchestrated and meticulously crafted portrayal. Her glamorous appearances in luxurious outfits, elegant charity events, and royal tours with bright smiles and friendly gestures do not necessarily reflect her true self. Instead, these are the products of a sophisticated media strategy designed to create a perfect image and polish her personal brand in the eyes of the public. A typical example is a viral video on the TikTok platform in which a flight attendant praises Meghan with positive remarks describing her as a beautiful, kind duchess who is always caring and considerate toward others. This video received thousands of shares and positive comments, creating an almost flawless image of Meghan, just as she wants the world to see. However, behind that glamorous facade, those who have directly interacted and worked with her tell a completely different story. They did not witness friendliness, but rather coldness, aloofness, and a lack of respect toward those around her. Notably, the praise in the video might just be part of a larger media campaign, an effort to rebuild Meghan's image following controversies and turmoil related to the royal family. Like many other celebrities, Meghan is skilled at leveraging and managing the media to protect and strengthen her personal brand. She takes every opportunity to send out positive messages about herself, from small gestures like writing thank you notes to flight attendants to attending grand charity events, all aimed at ensuring her image remains in the best possible light in the eyes of the public. However, while public attention is always focused on these glamorous images, few notice that it is precisely these sophisticated public relations strategies that conceal a host of behind-the-scenes stories, untold truths lying beyond the dazzling spotlight. An effective media strategy is not only about creating a beautiful image, but also about thoroughly controlling the information, making sure the public only sees the perspective that the celebrity wants them to see. In Meghan's case, she has skillfully leveraged the power of both social media and traditional media to reinforce and maintain her public image while keeping most damaging information under wraps. Despite numerous allegations and stories from those who have worked closely with her, very few have been made public. This is largely because witnesses are reluctant to speak out due to contractual obligations or fear of retaliation, and also because Meghan and her public relations team tightly control the media narrative. The story of the highly praised TikTok video is a prime example of how Meghan employs calculated media tactics to build and protect her flawless image. What's even more noteworthy is how this video was systematically spread, garnering significant public attention, especially at times when Meghan needed to rehabilitate her image following scandals related to the royal family or personal privacy exposures. All of these factors cannot be seen as mere coincidences. They are likely the product of a deliberately orchestrated plan aimed not only at building her image, but also at erasing negative criticism from the public and the media. In other words, Meghan not only knows how to appear on stage, but is also highly skilled at controlling the narrative behind the scenes to maintain her status and image in the eyes of the world. Meghan Markle's image building and management need to be understood in the context of her being a public figure, especially as a member of the British royal family. With this unique status, Meghan faces intense criticism, not only from the media, but also from within the royal household itself. Therefore, it is understandable that she uses public relations strategies to protect and maintain a positive image of herself. However, problems arise when this strategy is abused, turning into a tool to hide the truth, resulting in a lack of transparency and a loss of credibility in the eyes of the public. Public relations strategies are not just about building an image on the media, but also involve controlling information and managing the narrative surrounding her life and career. This became even more evident when Meghan and Prince Harry decided to step back from their royal roles and move to California. This process was not only political, but also a public campaign expressing their desire to assert their independence and freedom. Initially, this decision was strongly supported by the media, creating a consensus among the public. However, as behind-the-scenes stories gradually emerged, many began to express dissatisfaction with how Meghan and Harry worked with the media to craft a perfect image that lacked sincerity in their actions. While these strategies may bring short-term success, the truth cannot be hidden forever. There will always be individuals within the industry or those who have worked with them willing to speak out and reveal the real story. Accounts from flight crews, film crews, and royal staff will gradually shatter the fabricated image, eroding the public's trust. Therefore, although media strategies may help Meghan maintain her image for a certain period, it is sincerity and genuine actions that ultimately determine whether she can sustain that flawless image in the long run. When witnesses from various fields begin to speak out, revealing the truth behind the praises and polished actions, Meghan Markle's story ceases to be just a personal narrative and instead becomes a significant lesson about truth deception and how media operates in the modern world. Behind-the-scenes stories about Meghan, from accusations of coldness and indifference on flights to two-faced behavior toward staff, reveal an undeniable pattern of conduct. No matter how sophisticated her public relations strategy is, accounts from those who have worked closely with her expose Meghan's true nature beneath the surface. She has crafted a flawless image in the press and media, but has disappointed many with the way she actually treats those around her, especially people who cannot directly benefit her. Stories about leaving her son Archie in the care of others during long flights or showing disrespect toward staff are not just accidental behaviors, but also reflect a cold and indifferent personality. Public relations strategies can hide the truth for a while, but eventually the truth always comes to light. Witnesses from the film crew, flight attendants, and royal staff all point out that Meghan is not the person she portrays herself to be in public, and the stories behind the glamorous facade reveal the full picture of who she really is. This not only affects how the public perceives Meghan Markle, but also serves as a profound reminder of the importance of sincerity and ethics in all relationships, as well as in life's decisions. Can Meghan change, or will she continue to maintain a flawless image, striving to conceal increasingly obvious cracks? This question remains unanswered, and only time will tell. If you found the story about Meghan Markle and the secrets behind her glamorous image interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our latest content. Feel free to share your thoughts about Meghan and Harry in the comments below. See you in the next video.